colleagues today, Dr. Reiner Hutwelker and Dr. David. Soon he will be a doctor, right? With his PhD.
Yeah, by the grace of God.
Yes. So I have worked before with Dr. Reiner, and an event was in November 2019. It was about Six Sigma. He participated in our conference in Cairo. And since then, we had great participation and knowledge sharing with Dr. Reiner. So today we have a special day because we are linking Six Sigma to sustainability, and we have a very interesting meeting. So I thank everyone who started joining us today. And Dr. Reiner, please start.
Shireen, thank you for the invitation. It's again a great pleasure for me to join your webinar. And as I saw, it's number 129. So this is very impressive. And once again about Six Sigma. So let me please share my screen for a short introduction of myself, and most of the part will be conducted by David. So my name is Reiner Hutwelker, Six Sigma Master Black Belt, and original professional experience from Siemens, and independent business consultant for 25 years now, and I'm a senior lecturer and the academic director of Six Sigma at Technical University of Munich. And we are really proud to have won several awards in 2020 and 2021. 2022, we had the recommendation of the best Lean Six Sigma course worldwide. And actually, we are on the shortlist of the edX Prize for the best e-learning experience. And let me give you a short introduction of what we want to do. So first, I want to show you the 3 paths that we offer to Green Belt certification. And what David did is one path to our Green Belt certification. Then I will give you one slide how a Lean Six Sigma project can be triggered. And then immediately David will take over and present his sustainability project, his certification project, with which he won our Sustainability Project Award last year. So what we offer are these 3 different paths, and we start with our TOM Yellow Belt certificate, and then you have the option to choose between 3 different types of projects for certification. So it's about implementing a real project, and this can be a business project, a medium project, a small project, and a predefined sustainability project. So for the business project, we first, of course, have to check the suitability of the project, and then the path is identical for all types of project. We offer digital guidance by videos, by tools, by templates for project documentation. We offer personal guidance with weekly online lectures and DMAC phase reviews. So each phase of the project is reviewed, and you can and feedback. And additionally, personal guidance. So there's also project coaching from a methodical point of view. And for the business projects, of course, also company guidance, project steerings from a project sponsor. And we do this 5 times around the DMAC cycle. And finally, then after completion, after implementation, you will earn your our TOM Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certification. So this is then overall our offer for employees, for students, and also job seekers. Let me give you a short overview about the types of projects. So this is about a typical Six Sigma project from mass production, a material project, but we also have, of course, and Six Sigma is established already in information service and logistics. So this wasn't from an internet shop with wrong prices and wrong legal terms. And there are also opportunities for projects in the development of this example here, for example, is a big deep supply unit with a low repetition rate. So this is not a mass product. And or this one here, we had an a project about the low overall equipment effectiveness of diggers and trucks in a gold mine. So if you see, and you might remember, Lean Six Sigma are database-based management systems for reducing costs and increasing customer satisfaction. Both focus on adding value and eliminating waste of any process in production and service. And if you think about Lean, in our opinion, is like an overall fitness program of a company for the activities, for the guiding methods that guide the activities, and for the executing resources that execute the activities. And Six Sigma is more like a specific treatment for a concrete deviation of one of these process outputs. And you can see this is quite a wide range that Six Sigma covers. And with our sustainability project, we even expanded the scope. So it's very important in the beginning to find the trigger or the interface to a Six Sigma project. And this is what I want to show you just with one slide, our perspective on a Six Sigma project. What you can do to identify your project by yourself is that you first focus on an object, identify its attributes, determine their values, and evaluate any deviations. And to make it concrete, please think about simply a cookie. So this is an object. A material object, and this object has attributes. And you know, of course, for cookies, we have ingredient, shape, diameter, color, texture, and so on. So there are many different attributes. And they have values that you can measure on these attributes. The fluor and sugar of the ingredients, the shape of a cylinder in this case, the diameter of 10 centimeters, the weight, and also the color, light brown. But what you see here are then the deviations. This is, of course, not a light brown cookie, and this would immediately be seen by us as a problem. So actually, object attributes, their values, and the deviations from the specification. And this can be also done with informational objects. So you can see, if you think about a database or a paper list, and you might need an entry A, and it's simply empty or ambiguous, and this would be a deviation in terms of quality. Or you have an entry B, which is delayed, you're waiting for this entry, and this would be about availability. Or entry C, additional efforts, feedback loops to get the information, to enter this information, so additional efforts. And this is about consumption of inputs or resources. So what we have are three types of problems in terms of quality, availability, and consumptions, and they lead then to effects of maybe reduced customer satisfaction and costs. So this is the surrounding. These are the conditions where we start Six Sigma projects. And you can also think about sustainability and the deviations of objects and their attributes as a trigger point for a sustainability project. And this is exactly what David did. And let me now please hand over to David. And he won our Sustainability Project Award last year with a great documentation and a great project in Lagos, Nigeria. So please, David, it's up to you.
All right, thank you. My name is David, and I would like to go straight to presenting my project. The title of my project is Reducing the Environmental Impacts of Residential Solid Waste in Lagos, Nigeria. And this project was sponsored by LOMA, the Lagos State Waste Management Authority. And I'll just share some excerpts as documented in the storybook. And so this is
David, what about switching to the presentation mode? I see, so we can see a little bit better.
If you click on F5. Or you go to slideshow or to the one, yes, slideshow on top in the middle next to animation.
I'm trying to check out for that.
If you go to bottom right, there is like a screen icon. You can use it. Bottom right, next to Zoom plus and minus. Bottom right. Yes, right. Go down, down, down. You see the word notes?
Oh, I'm trying to figure that out.
Can you hear me, David?
Yes, I can hear you.
So go with your cursor down, down.
Okay.
With the cursor, with the arrow.
Okay.
You see down right, there is 50%, then plus. Go to the left, there is like a box or a screen symbol.
Down. Down.
Yes, down again, another one.
A little bit.
Yes, little bit.
So typically we only show our slides, present our slides in this mode. I'm sorry for this. David, the lower menu bar on the bottom. Yes, you nearly had it. Right.
Okay.
One more right. Yes, this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Click on it. Hey,
yes.
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is the major problem, which is the littered channel, and I refer to it as the problem reported. It is the problem symptom, and amongst other problems, the channel, littered channel had various environmental impacts along the commercial avenue, because it prevents free flow of water, and then adverse environmental change such as rainfall. This affects the operations of businesses in the commercial avenue. It leads to waste of resources, and it also prevents waste circularity. So how can this problem be solved with the use of Lean Six Sigma methodology? And so basically the Lean Six Sigma methodology cuts across 5 stages, which is a define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And so I'll start with the define stage. At this stage, it was important to investigate the manifestations of the problem. How did the channels got clogged at the first place? What went wrong in the waste management systems? What signs could be observed? To carry out this investigation, first, at the define stage, we have to map out the system, listen to the voice of customer, design a project charter. So as you can see, this is the most important problem. Many problems were observed, amongst which were the untidy streets, overfilled bins, delay from garbage trucks, absence of cleaners and drainers. But I want to focus on an intermediate output, which is the untidy streets. As you can see on the Kano model, it shows that most of this problem all the factor intermediate outputs are a must-be expectation, and then deviation in the attributes of this output often leads to dissatisfaction. In other words, it is a major quality requirement for the streets to be clean. Once it is dirty, it automatically leads to satisfaction from the perspective of the process owners, which is Loma, and also for the residents and some other stakeholders in the environment. So, actually, before this could be achieved, we had to listen to the voice of customers and then to the voice of business. And then at the measure phase, I organized a workshop to assess the inputs, process, the methods, and the resources that produce the defective output, which is the untidy streets in the waste management system. Because as previously explained, the channels won't get clogged if the street wasn't dirty. So there are various intermediate outputs that has to be assessed, which triggered the final output, which is the clogged channel. So at the measure phase.
So may I ask you, David, who were your team members? Was it government only?
Yes, the government, their employees, and yes, their employees, and we have also, there were some private, we call it private service participants, because for Loma to carry out the operations effectively, it has to collaborate with also some private service participants who were basically involved in the logistics aspect of the waste management system. So at the measure phase, I had to organize the first workshop, like I said, to assess the inputs, the methods, and the resources, then plan for data collection, and then develop some hypotheses. And as you can see, focusing on one aspect of the problem, which is the untidy streets, the major input that is needed for the street to be clean as it is, the residents, the cleaners, and then the methods has to do with the personal habits or the cleaning habits, and some of the resources has to do with the waste bags, the waste bin, and the negative influences from the methods and resources are that some of the tools are expired, the complex spots are ignored, and all this, the deviation in the input, some attributes of the inputs, deviation and some of the attributes of the methods, and the attributes of the resources can also produce the problematic output, which is the untidy street. So for the process mapping for the process to be effectively mapped, I had to involve, like I said, the employees, the gatekeeper, so they understand the process better, how the services are being provided. So we all had to map the process together. It wasn't easy getting their cooperation. And at this stage, it was very important for me to motivate them, to solicit their support, to communicate the importance of this project to the environment. And after the workshop, I planned for the data collection. As you can see, the data was collected with the use of questionnaire and observations. The questionnaire, for example, helps to monitor the habits. It helps to gather information that measures the personal habits. I previously said, the personal habit is the method that can also determine the quality of the output. So the questionnaire captured personal habits, the littering behavior, in terms of whether the residents in the environment are smart droppers, whether they are soft droppers, lifestyle, various type of littering behavior, green minds and all that. And then through observation, I was able to gather information relating to the number of litters and litter attributes such as the plastics, the glass, metal, chewing gums, and others in specific location. And then at this stage, it was also very important to plan for the data analysis. This is where statistics comes in, both descriptive and inferential statistical tools were planned for the purpose of describing phenomenon as they occur. Test of hypotheses, for example, some of the hypotheses that we plan to test was to examine the effects of public littering habits on street litter, then to kind of discriminate between two locations and all that. Some quality control charts were also used to monitor how stable the process was. So as you can see,
David. So this is very important because you combined two sources of information here. So you collected field data from specific locations and additionally collected questionnaire data and later combined them to find the root causes of littering, not only in the equipment of Loma, but also on the habits and the psychology beliefs of the citizens of Lagos. And this is very important, how to integrate data from different locations. Okay, so please, this was just my comment. Please continue.
Yes.
And it's interesting. So how you had all this data, is it only manually filled or was it like measures of weight or observation? So was it attribute data or continuous data?
Yeah, it's an attribute data. The information was actually to measure people's behavior. We measure people's behavior using questionnaire, and then observations by counting. You know, it was a very stressful process and all that. Okay, so the root cause analysis was used to get to the root cause of the problem, and it shows that people have different behavior towards littering. And then this brings us to the analyze stage, which we did a data evaluation, process performance. The hypothesis was tested. And as you can see, the Pareto charts, the results of the Pareto charts shows that the more plastics contributes to environmental harmfulness. 40.5% were plastics, among other such as paper, metal, and all that. So, and then using the control charts, as you can see, it shows that some points are out of control. And when in quality control, when the process is out of control, it has implications. And as you can see, the mean of waste at the local markets is 37 pieces, and when you compare that to the supermarket, it is about 26 pieces, and the difference is also statistically significant. And by comparison, it shows that there are more waste observed in the local street eateries when compared to that of the supermarket. And the control chart also shows that the process is out of control. And the process capability.
So what you can see here is already also the results of the different locations. So this is sometimes very important to collect, for example, data from different lines, from different shifts, And this is similar to what we also did here, to have an idea about and get ideas data-based about the differences. And if you can go one slide back, please, you can see overall data about the marketplace, about the local markets, about the supermarket, about the local eateries around the supermarket. And this is what David did. So collecting data, real field data from different locations, serving data, finding to identify differences. And this also helps to identify root causes. Please continue.
Yeah, so thank you. The process capability analysis also showed that the system performs below expectation, and this is because most of the process capability index, it is expected that they should be greater than 0. But as you can see,
so what was the maximum? What was the upper specification limit? It's like just to translate it to people. I could see.
Yes. So the PP value,
yeah.
the PP value was is 0.43, which is less than 1, and then the PPK value is negative. For the PP, it shows.
So I mean, what is USL here? So it's like 20 something.
30.
Yeah,
30 something.
Yes.
So
yes,
what does it translate to?
Yeah, it means that the upper specific, that is the highest, what is actually allowed should not exceed 30. You know, yes, so it shouldn't.
Is it quantity like tons
pieces
per day, or number
pieces,
of bins?
Number.
Okay.
Yes. So it shouldn't exceed the upper specification limits and all that.
So David did Gemba walks, continuously Gemba walks and counting. This is what he also already mentioned about the difficulty, simply counting the amount and differentiating the different types of litter. And what you also can see here, if you look at the Z value, the sigma level that we had, it's negative, and we are in a Six Sigma course. Of course, we want to achieve Six Sigma. And in the beginning, and this is not so unusual, we had a negative sigma level of, it was minus 0.03 here. So lots of things to do. Please continue.
Yes, it's interesting because it's quite impressive, because most of people in their Six Sigma projects, they do in a factory or they do in an environment where they have the data. For you, David, that you made something and measured, you translated something which is very complex to make it like this. For me, it's quite impressive. I have never seen a project like this. Okay, so please continue.
All right, thank you. Using differential tests, I also tested for a difference in litter between the local eateries or markets, and then in comparison with the supermarkets. And as you can see, it shows that the difference statistically is relatively high, and it's about 36.9% difference, which gives insights that there are more litter at the local eatery when compared to that of the supermarket. So with relationship techniques such as correlation and regression, an hypothesis that I also tested is to examine the relationship between public eating and litter observed on the street. And as you can see, the result shows that public eating and litter are positively correlated, which means the more people eat outside, the more likelihood of litter. That's
so how did you count the data of people eating outside, public eating?
Yes, it's part of the information that is in the questionnaire. Like I said, we measured various behavior. There are various types of behavior exhibited by smart droppers, stress droppers, lifestyle droppers. You know, for example, if it is a lifestyle eating outside and then dropping, most especially when there is no facility, it is a norm. So, and also through Gemba, we some of these public eateries, local eateries are outside, and then as you would see in the next slide, most of them are by the roadside, and then people tend to eat there, and once they eat there and there are absence of facilities, it is a norm for them to drop, you know. So we captured all this behavior using a questionnaire. So
what you also can see here is the for the experts, the determination coefficient. So what the public eating determines, and the littering caused by public eating determines the overall amount of littering on the streets by 7.46%.
Yeah.
So this seems to be only a small portion, but it is significant. If you simply think now with this significant result, David identified one determinant of the overall littering. And this is what we want to do. So if you have an overall deviation, the amount of litter in the street, then the food-related littering, the eating-related littering determines about 7.5%. And this is, of course, then one of the triggers of the problem where you want to find the root causes for this later in the root cause. So this is one step in identifying root causes to eliminate them. Please continue, David.
All right, thank you. And as you can see, this is a multiple regression analysis that helps to capture how various littering behavior also predicts litter on the street. As you can see, there's all the behavior combined, amongst other things, predicts litter by 14.52%. So, and then this is the data analysis strategy that helps to identify the root cause by hierarchy tree. And okay, and this
so can
information.
Yes, can you please go back? So maybe most of all of you know. No, this one, the hierarchy tree.
Yeah.
So what we are doing is we go beyond the Ishikawa diagram and use the fall tree. Because in a fall tree, you can really see the chronological emergence of a problem. So you have the problem on top. And can you please click one more? And what you also see is that we have the statistical test results, use the statistical test results to validate these relationships in these causal or in this hierarchy tree. So it's a combination of expert opinion and statistical data. So for some causes, you might not be able to collect statistical data, then you need to rely on expert opinions. But for all the other data and influences that you were able to collect data, validates the overall tree. So combination of qualitative and quantitative information for identifying root causes. Please continue.
All right, so thank you. After comparing the waste, the litter in the local eatery and the supermarkets, we realized that there are more waste at the local eatery. And so why? Because there is public littering. That's the first cause level. Why? Because people eat in public, people see litter around and all that. So to reach the causation by root cause, which is because people behave differently towards waste with disposal. So which means the root cause of littering or litter is has to do with people behavior. And as you can see, this is also the result of a workshop and all that. It wasn't also easy to. They are all very busy. Most of them sometimes could be skeptical, even when it comes to engaging them. Some are scared to lose their jobs. And but I got the cooperation of the gatekeeper who introduced me to some of the employees. And so, as you can see, after identifying the problems, the negative influences, the root cause, what can be improved in the system? What are the solutions suggested? And then, as you can see, some of the solutions to address the streets littering, amongst others, were to enlighten people to behave in a common environmentally friendly manner, to sensitize people in the area about the need for proper waste disposal. Waste should be cleared on time. Trash bin size used in the area must be according to standard. We conducted an environmental awareness campaign. We distributed a T-shirt with inscription, which is meant to be worn, and I'll get to that in a moment. We also encouraged waste stewardship. We gave out some free bins and bags. And so this is the app. This app has been developed for quite some time, but most of the people, the traders, the local eateries, the stakeholders in the environment are not really aware. And this app, this critical product helps to encourage waste stewardship in such a way that once they have the waste, they can easily send a message to Loma, and then Loma can kind of schedule for collection. And by so doing, they also get value attached to waste management. So the purpose of the workshop is to inform them on the existence of something like this, and then waste stewardship, which means you can also gather tap value through waste dispose. And as you can see, this is also part of the workshop where we had to sensitize them. We distributed T-shirts with inscription, and like I said, they have to wear it, not compulsory, but there are some Loma. I didn't go alone. I went with some of the government authorities who encouraged them to at least wear this shirt, so their customers will also be aware. For example, some of the inscription is that if we act in a clean way, we shall clear the city of debt. So we believe these inscriptions can sensitize them. As you can see, these are traders of both foods and cash crops. As you can see, this is a very stressful but rather effective process. And we also gained their corporations because they were happy being sensitized. These are the local eateries, as you can see. And so these are the source of the litter.
I was very impressed about this. So let me please very short comment this. You see this the team on the top. Can you go back to the last one? The team, and they went to the marketplace and to the local eateries, had these T-shirts printed, gave also the print T-shirts to them, and this is similar to identifying the multiplicators within a company. The informal leaders, to make them a multiplication source for all the other citizens, to keep the marketplace clean, to keep the eateries clean. And this was really great. So David was able to mobilize the complete marketplace and all the shops and supermarkets around. I really love this. Please continue, David.
Yeah, so and with the help of the Loma authorities, it's really helped us to prevent some harassment and all that most likely would have occurred if they were not involved. As you can see, there's also a mini supermarket and all that. So this brings me to the last and final stage after the improvement process. What has to be controlled for? We have to check if the efforts of the improved phase has actually done something positive in the waste management system. And as you can see, I also collected the data, very, very stressful, but I was motivated. So which means I gathered data before and data after improvement. And as you can see on the Pareto chart.
How long did it take you for the improvement phase to reach this level?
You mean for data collection?
Before, yes, you said before and after. You had the measure, you had analyze.
Yeah, before was 3 months above. After was 1-2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah. So as you can see, a comparison of the before and after shows that the overall number of errors reduced by 58.41%. Reduction cut across all attributes of the litter, regardless of whether it is plastic, metal. There was a significant reduction, as you can see on the plot, on the box plot as well. And so the data for the first month after implementation indicates that the overall amount of littering is under control. As you can see, though there were variations, there were variations at the first week, second week, but this variation is due to the natural operations of the system, and the system is in control. As you can see, there is no outlier, so there is no out of control problem that as compared to the before. So the system is in control, and then no outlier, and then which means the only control is to reduce the variation in the system. Overall, the amount of street litter was reduced by about 89%. And as you can see, yes, the comparison of the waste before and after, the waste before, the street waste before was about 32. Now you find that 3 and all that. So there is a significant reduction based on before and after comparison.
And it's, as you mentioned, David, it's not only significant. So in my opinion, significance can only be the first step. Yeah. And then if a test is significant, then the next most important information is the size of the effect. And what you can see here is the reduction from 37.8 to 14. So this is half of it. And you saw this or even before. So the amount, the degree, the size of the effect that you find. And you can see it's a significant result. And we really improved with a practically relevant size. Please continue.
Thank you. So it was also important to use, since the system is not out of control, the reaction plan was designed to prevent any out of control problem. So as you can see, the specification limits set before was about 30 pieces. We set a control limit, an upper control limit of 6, and then the center line of about 2 pieces. So the tolerance limit is about 17%, which means maybe once it is once we observe any litter that is a little bit beyond 6, 17% above 6, then the reaction plan should kick off, which the reaction plan would focus on. The street now is to assign cleaners to the spots. And so this is the responsibility of the supervisor. The supervisor should always be on ground, monitoring the environment once there is. So this is just a way to control the process and to prevent any out of control events. So
So this is what Lorma took out of it. They changed their behavior, they changed their work with this control plan for the future to keep this great result, to continue to sustainable keep these improved results. Yes, please continue.
Yeah, so it was also important to estimate the financial and the non-financial benefits of waste management, and that the non-financial benefits has to do with sanitized environment, an environment free of pests and harmfulness that could occur, most especially when the channels gets clogged. And sometimes this leads to pests, and it's an environment that I'm familiar with. So these were some of the the non-financial benefits, and the financial benefits was measured in terms of the number of liter that we were able to gather. So for example, after the improvement, we were able to gather about 449 pieces of plastics. So all this though they are litter, but they help to promote recycling. They are also inputs for other manufacturers at the commercial avenue. So plastics can be recycled, and there are stakeholders that are buying it. So, and it has a corresponding unit costs, and so these are the ways we estimated the financial value of what has been done. Metal too, there are some companies that also recycle, so they have some have a per unit cost, some measure, some buy according to weights and all that. So, and the financial value, this is just the financial benefits, and like I said, it is measured in terms of the ability to collect waste, and then the corresponding unit costs. So that leads to I refer to it as the total recycle value. So these plastics that are meant to get to the channel, instead of creating an environmental harm, will be quickly collected, and then it serves as inputs for in such a way that promotes circularity. So our ability to reduce environmental harm, to promote circularity, reuse, these are the sustainability implication of applying the Lean Six Sigma methodology. Yes,
Okay.
So there were various lessons learned and insights gathered for future waste management. So these are insights, for anyone that is interested in future waste management and other areas, not necessarily at a commercial avenue. For example, estimation.
David, I think we need to hurry. We are running out of time. Sorry. And
so the last point I noted for my own personal consumption is that which I want to communicate is that during the project, I realized that just as a patient would report or complain the symptoms of an illness to a physician, who would conduct further tests to investigate the source of problems before recommending pills, the Lean Six Sigma methodology is very useful for investigation of a systematic problem, and this helps to, it also helps to recommend feasible and practical solutions to the problem. So thank you. My name is Olamide David, and I'm open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really great. Thank you very much. It's very insightful. Okay. So someone's saying, I'm loving this and I'm happy to stay extra time. Thank you, Ron. That's really nice. Ahmed Hosni is writing great. Thank you. So I think it's quite impressive, Dr. Reiner. So what do you like to add here, Dr. Reiner? Because you have been coaching this project, right?
Yes. Yes. So what you can see here, and what David also mentioned, what we want to achieve, and David is a great example for this. It's not only about the method. So one thing is that we of course want to transmit is the method and the clear the tools that we offer. On the other hand, there's a lot of responsibility and activity necessary on the student side. This is directed to students or to job seekers. So basically, it's not about the size of the effect that we require from the students, but to apply the methods. What you saw in David's example here, that he experienced working, trying to find a sponsor, trying to find support, the anxiousness of colleagues, of the employees of Loma losing their jobs, winning them to participate in the workshop, doing this first workshop with the process mapping to convince them that it is necessary. The second workshop with the root cause analysis, all the resistance in a company, and to overcome this. I think this is this part is even as necessary and important as getting the method and the tool experience. Implementing a real project is just a difference. And this is why David also won our Sustainability Award. He mobilized a part of Lagos, and he convinced the local authorities, and they supported him. And this is the second important part. So the soft factors that you have in a project. And this is why I like this project so much, and why I suggested that David present his project.
Thank you, Doctor, a lot. And we are very impressed about this, because it's rare to see such a national project. People are so happy. I see the comments. You can see thank you. They're happy, super excited. So...
one thing maybe that we also had an interview, just one last sentence from me. We had an interview with David and his sponsor, and this can be seen as a pilot. So it was restricted to a part of Lagos, Commercial Avenue in the center of Lagos. But of course, it can serve as a pilot. And this was also what his sponsor then said. This is an example where you get a clear guideline on what to do in the future and to transfer it onto other parts of Lagos. So they know now how to do it, basically. And if they want, they can transmit it to other areas within the town, and not only in Lagos, of course, or also in other parts. And this is really a nice effect of this work, and getting the support, convincing more and more people on this data-based procedure.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and it's really that he could use it, and he could manage the tools. Okay. And actually, someone is asking, why are Six Sigma and Lean are separated in training?
No, they are not separated.
Exactly, they are not separated.
David achieved Lean Six Sigma green belt certification for this, and we combine two areas of Lean. One is the classical Kaizen or continuous improvement, Lean thinking part of Lean. And the other part, the digital part, is process mining for those who have also digitized their manufacturing or the service processes. So we have these two. And if you think this is just what I mentioned in the beginning, these are just some extreme view to see Lean as a fitness program, to focus on the activities. What are you doing? Any waste, any losses here, any waiting time? So this happens in the process. And Six Sigma focuses more like a medical treatment, focuses on certain outputs and tries to find the influences in the process. So Lean being an overall continuous process to improve, and Six Sigma then focusing, there's an output, there's a deviation. This is important for us. We have additional costs. Customer is not satisfied, so we need a specific project, Six Sigma project on this output or on that output. And this is what David did. So combining these Lean ideas with Six Sigma ideas, and they are integrated.
Thank you very much. So we have at the end just a small thing we want to share with you. Thank you. It's like a certificate of appreciation for you, Dr. Reiner, for sharing in our, yes, thank
wonderful.
you. Yes, thank you. We recognize your support and great job. So thank you, Dr. Reiner, for this. And as well, we have another one for David. Thank you, David.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate this.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So thank you. It's an applause from myself, from everyone. And I'm so happy you are recording this with us so we can have it on YouTube and so people can listen to it later as well. So yes. Thank you, and thanks to everyone who is attending.
Please, one sentence. You will receive, of course, the slides, and additional to the slides, you will see, you will get some addresses. All the material is for free. You can see the videos, you can use the tools that David used, and just to try it out, and they are included in the slides. Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, everyone. So we will send the presentation, and everything will be sent by our team, and that's really great. So people, thank you. Very appropriate. They say thank you. Please send us materials. People just say thank you all. Many thanks. So we have many thanks. Okay, many thanks from everyone. It's wonderful, yes, that we are from different places all over the world and we have the same passion. And some people are sending you flowers too, okay?
They are for David, of course. Great, great. Wonderful.
It's for everyone. And appreciation from Rawand Abdullah, and hearts from Ahmed is sending you hearts and love. Okay, thanks for everyone. Thanks for everyone who's...
Smiles, yes.
Yes, you make us all smile, yes.
You made my day. Great.
You always teach us, Dr. Reiner. It's a great. Thank you. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for knowledge sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. Thank you, David. Keep in touch.
We're
super excited about your projects and news in the future. So you will take Six Sigma to all over the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a
good night. Bye.
Bye.